What if I told you that the ancient prophet Ezekiel might have seen not just the past but the rise of a future world ruler, leaving behind a shocking code that could reveal his true identity? Imagine standing on the edge of time, where prophecies echo and flesh out dangers we are yet to face. Today we're diving deep into Ezekiel's forgotten warnings and the clues he left about the beast's name. Are you curious to see what was hidden from us for centuries? Stay tuned, because the answers might just transform your understanding of faith and the spiritual battles we engage in every day. And remember, Jesus will bless you on this journey. After watching, let us know in the comments where you're from or how Jesus has made a miracle in your life. Your story matters, and together we can seek his truth. The prophet Ezekiel stands as one of the most enigmatic figures in biblical history, not least because of the vivid and often perplexing visions he received while exiled in Babylon. Unlike any other prophet, Ezekiel was granted the extraordinary privilege of witnessing divine spectacles that transcended the limits of human understanding. Picture a man sitting by the banks of the Chebar Canal as the heavens opened before him, exposing celestial creatures like fiery wheels within wheels, accompanied by the roars of heavenly dynamism. Each vision left him trembling, overwhelmed by a divine presence that was as terrifying as it was awe-inspiring. These were not mere dreams. They were revelations loaded with symbolic truths about humanity's destiny, the nature of divine judgment, and the unfolding of apocalyptic events reminiscent of those later echoed in the book of Revelation. The living creatures Ezekiel saw, described in the opening chapters of his book, were like nothing known on earth, their likeness combining features of men, lions, eagles, and calves, reflecting a divine hierarchy and the multifaceted nature of divine judgment. These visions were a form of celestial communication, hinting at events far beyond Ezekiel's immediate circumstance. In particular, the vision of the Valley of Dry Bones, where God breathes life into dusty remnants, symbolizing Israel's restoration, serves as a powerful allegory for future spiritual revitalization. And yet, intertwined with hope and redemption, is a tale of future tribulation, as Ezekiel's visions forecast a gateway to times of great trial and rise of deceptive powers. Apocalyptic elements in Ezekiel's prophecies are particularly striking for their profound symbolism and mysterious meanings. The strange intersections of wheels with eyes, the creatures who move without turning, and the ethereal, all-pervasive presence of divine glory can be perplexing and unsettling, yet they speak to events far beyond the human scope of time. Events connected to a world dominated by an influential force of deception. This commanding energy, foretold in Ezekiel's chaotic landscapes and mirrored in the ominous intervals displayed in Revelation, allude to a powerful figure who will arise, swaying nations with beguiling charisma and destructive intent. Ezekiel's cries of warning resonate throughout history as a cautionary tale about the seductive nature of power and the vulnerability of human hearts to such enticements. Exploring Ezekiel's vision lays a foundation for foresight, as many scholars, theologians, and mystics alike suggest that what Ezekiel witnessed was not confined to the historical context of a nation exiled and forlorn, but pointed ahead to the cataclysmic struggles between light and darkness. The vivid imagery painted by Ezekiel complements the apocalyptic themes in John's Revelation, comprising an intricate puzzle telling a narrative of spiritual conflict and cosmic destiny that stretches far into the future. These were not just cautionary notes for his contemporaries, they form a mythical layer of narrative that touches on the universal human condition, with relevance rippling through to modern times. As we delve deeper into the imagery, we must consider why these visions were not solely preserved as symbolic lessons, but as a potent warning to every generation faced with similar decisions and challenges. Why did Ezekiel, under divine directive, articulate such foretelling fables? And what humanity-steering revelations did he apprehend in his mind's eye, revelations that echo with pertinence today more than ever? We confront an ancient prophet's cryptic proclamations against the backdrop of our tumultuous present, questioning whether the very deception he foresaw is growing before our eyes, threatening to envelop the unwary. Ezekiel's narrative is emblematic of the timeless battle between truth and illusion, a battle fought not just on spiritual and cosmic realms, but within every heart and nation. His apocalyptic visions challenge us to vigilantly discern truth from the charm of false prophets, the extravagant allure of false saviors. Today, as we navigate waters muddied by vast troves of information, deceit, and shifting allegiances, the urgency of Ezekiel's warnings must be heeded with renewed focus. His visions unfold as profound, cautioning prophecies that speak to the enduring human struggle against forces that would distort truth for dominion. Thus, Ezekiel's vivid tableau portrays more than mythic creatures. It captures an existential reflection of humanity's fragility and potential grandeur when enmeshed in divine insight. It conjures an image not of despair but of resurrection and fervent vigilance. For as the dry bones are revived, so too must spiritual clarity arise, fueling resilience against the approaching tempest of deception. Only then can the lessons of the visionary prophet be embraced and the hidden messages cross from inscrutable mysteries into tangible wisdom, serving as both gateway and guide into the future that awaits. In the shadowed pages of Ezekiel, we find an enigmatic figure, the Prince of Tyre, a character who intrigues scholars and the faithful alike with its profound parallels to the apocalyptic visions found in the book of Revelation. As we delve into Ezekiel 28, this ancient ruler emerges not merely as a historical potentate, but as a multi-layered symbol hinting at the workings of pride, arrogance, and ultimate downfall, qualities we see resonate through the ages, echoed in the figure of the beast in Revelation 13. The text opens with a portrait of the Prince of Tyre, spoken against by the prophet Ezekiel, who acts as the mouthpiece of divine judgment. Here the prince is chastised for elevating himself in godlike proportions, declaring in his heart, "I am a god, I sit in the seat of gods, in the heart of the seas," Ezekiel 28:2. This claim of divinity, at the height of human pride, draws a striking line to the heart of Lucifer's rebellion and the blasphemous reign of the Antichrist. It is this bridge of defiance and deception that suggests the Prince of Tyre is more than a man. He is a symbolically rich prefiguration, a shadow cast long before the beast rises from Revelation's prophetic seas. As we turn the pages of Ezekiel's lament, the language grows more intricate, painting the prince in hues of precious stones, reminiscent of celestial beauty and lost glory. You were in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone was your covering, Ezekiel 28:13. Such language intertwines his identity with that of an Edenic figure, leading many to see a deliberate echo of Lucifer, the fallen archangel who sought to usurp the Creator. This biblical tapestry of imagery compellingly ties the downfall of Tyre's ruler to the cosmic tragedy of early rebellion, where ambition birthed ruin. One cannot ignore the symbolic language that describes both the Prince of Tyre and the Beast of Revelation as embodying ultimate corruption and hubris. Both figures blaspheme God, set themselves above all others, and lead vast multitudes astray. Where the Prince of Tyre is condemned for his wisdom corrupted by splendor, Ezekiel 28:17, the beast too is marked by deceit, persuading the world to worship its power. In Revelation 13, the beast is granted a mouth uttering proud words and blasphemies, wielding an authority that mirrors the antediluvian pride of Tyre's ruler. This is not a coincidence, but a narrative echo, an etching of pride's destructive cycles seared into the fabric of biblical prophecy. The overconfidence of the prince builds as, like the beast, he seduces through splendor and false security. Tyre, a literal bastion in its day, represents both material and spiritual corruption, demonstrating the compelling siren's call of wealth and power. In Revelation, similar temptations lead the nations to capitulation, yet stand on the precipice of divine reckoning. Ezekiel proclaims destruction will come from the sea, a fitting parallel to the origin of the beast, which arises from tumultuous waters to wield its dominion in Revelation's vision. Is the Prince of Tyre, then, a prophetic blueprint for the apocalyptic beast? The textual symmetries suggest this, dealing not merely with past histories but forecasting a dark archetype looming in humanity's spiritual landscape. This assimilation of dual identities, both mortal king and archetypical adversary, invites us to reflect on the nature of power and the corruptive reach of hubris. Are we witnessing the shadow of the beast through the prince, a spectre of the Antichrist's still distant reign? Ezekiel's vision, therefore, invites us to contemplate the deeper messages hidden within the passages. The Prince of Tyre is not simply a denouncement of a bygone ruler. Instead, it is a timeless admonition of pride's descent into oblivion, transforming an ancient court into a tableau of prophetic warning. His story cautions against elevating oneself as a god, sowing seeds of profound implications. If pride can lay low a prince, is not the fall of the beast inevitable too? Our exploration into the Prince of Tyre tantalizes with possibilities, leading us to wonder about the nature of power, identity, and how ancient warnings might illuminate our understanding of coming tribulations. The chapters of Ezekiel carved into Scripture are more than historical recounting. They shape pathways to deeper truths, urging us to see beyond what is immediately visible. As we uncover these narratives, are they constructing a roadmap for our future, connecting what was once envisioned to what is yet to manifest? The mysteries of the Prince encourage deeper introspection, challenging us to prepare and stay vigilant in a world where shadows are cast by prideful aspirations, forever intertwining humanity's fate with the heavenly narrative. Whether this figure was meant to herald a prophetic beast or stands as a metaphor for power's seduction, the echoes of Ezekiel's vision resonate through the corridors of time, a steadfast reminder to seek divinely rooted wisdom over temporal glory. In the intricate tapestry of biblical prophecy, the tale of Gog and Magog emerges as a particularly enigmatic narrative thread, woven meticulously through the books of Ezekiel and Revelation. Much like a shadowy figure emerging from an ancient mist, Gog of Magog appears in Ezekiel chapters 38 and 39, a mystery shrouded in obscurity and terror. This leader, or perhaps title, represents more than just an adversary. Some interpret Gog as a prophetic insignia representing the culmination of all that stands against God's people in the end times. Ezekiel describes a formidable coalition, led by Gog, arising in the latter days to attack a land and a people regathered from among the nations. This alliance is not merely a military endeavor, it's a confrontation laced with apocalyptic overtones, a divine chess match wherein the stakes are nothing less than cosmic. This enigmatic figure and his coalition are perceived not just as temporary enemies of God's people, but rather as manifestations of a timeless spiritual conflict. In Revelation 28, Gog and Magog reappear, albeit in a seemingly different context, following the release of Satan from his millennium-long imprisonment. The names serve as allegories for the final rebellion against God's dominion on earth. But who, or what, is Gog? Is he a mere human leader, a title, an archetype, or something more pervasive and sinister? The identity of Gog has long perplexed scholars, spurring much debate. Some biblical experts contend that Gog is less a personal name and more a title, an epithet reminiscent of Pharaoh or Caesar, a designation for a ruler leading an empire into opposition against God's purposes. Others suggest that Gog could indeed be a name, but not of a single appointed ruler throughout history. Rather, Gog may signify any power aligned against divine order, a cryptic banner under which spiritual darkness rallies against light. Moreover, early Jewish and Christian writings provide a spiritual framework for understanding Gog as more than a geopolitical or historical figure. In these interpretations, Gog symbolizes the embodiment of chaos and rebellion, empowered by dark, unseen forces, the spiritual enemy standing in opposition to God's ultimate plan. Could it be that Gog represents more than just a leader or nation? Could it potentially serve as a cipher, intimating the kingdom of the coming Antichrist? This perspective draws us into the realm of the prophetic code, where names and figures often carry symbolic weight beyond a literal understanding. In biblical traditions, names held profound significance, a reflection of character, destiny, and divine purpose. To unearth the true essence of Gog requires us to look beyond surface readings and consider the broader prophetic tapestry God weaves. Is Gog intended to illuminate characteristics of the beast, that mysterious and malevolent figure described in Revelation 13. Tracking Gog's shadow into our modern era, we might ask, does the cryptic name hint at contemporary nations or coalitions rising in opposition to Israel? Or is it a broader allegory for spiritual adversaries rallying against God's divine plan? The historical, current, and future political landscapes could serve as potential interpretive keys, but the true battle transcends mere mortal conflict, reaching into the realm of spiritual warfare, a recurring theme between good and evil. As we explore this biblical mystery, it becomes ever more clear that Gog presents a multifaceted challenge. It's not just a story of a lone adversary, but an epic narrative tracing humanity's ongoing struggle against the forces of darkness. By pondering these mysteries, we engage not simply with a historical text, but with a dynamic and ever-relevant spiritual reality. The questions and interpretations remain, but perhaps this is precisely the point. Such enigmatic prophecies invite reflection and vigilance, a reminder that while the identities of players may be hidden, the ultimate outcome remains certain. The narrative of Gog is more than an arcane tale. It is a testament to the enduring conflict where, ultimately, light triumphs over shadow, faith over fear, and divinity conquers all that dares stand against it. In the aftermath of the Gog prophecy and the unfolding cosmic controversies that surround the identities cloaked in secrecy and esoteric symbols, the visions of Ezekiel propel us further into the heart of apocalyptic revelation. Ezekiel 40:48 sketches the divine blueprints of what many consider to be the prophecy of the Third Temple, a structure of profound spiritual and eschatological significance. While the spiritual realms quiver with the echoes of ancient battles and celestial judgments, as found in the previous chapter, Ezekiel's temple vision holds within its sacred design a plot twist, a sinister foreshadowing of the beast's incursion. The vision starts starkly. Ezekiel is transported in spirit to a high mountain, where a man whose appearance is like bronze guides him. What unfolds is a meticulous, nearly obsessive description of a temple unlike any physical sanctuary ever seen. Its dimensions are carefully chronicled with an almost otherworldly precision. The geometric symmetry speaks not only to tantalizing prophetic artistry, but suggests a divine order that stands outside time, untouched by corruption for now. Yet, for all its puritanical perfection, speculative whispers reach out to interpret mysterious omens hidden beneath its stone facades. Amid the majesty of celestial architecture depicted by Ezekiel, 2 Thessalonians 2:3-4 intersects, a revelation that the man of lawlessness will oppose and exalt himself over everything that is called God or is worshipped, setting himself up in God's temple, proclaiming himself to be God. This aligns eerily within the pristine courtyards that Ezekiel described, evoking imagery of the Antichrist, believed by many to be the false Messiah, infiltrating this temple, employing deception so cunning that even the elect might be deceived. As the anticipated herald of deception, the Antichrist's presence would aim to desecrate the divine, twisting the sanctity of holiness like a grand deception executed with chilling mastery. The Great Tribulation lingers over this zone, its potential malice echoed in the narrative's subtext. The temple appears as a focal point for this cosmic charade. Ezekiel's revelations unveil portals to meanings, each beckoning with questions that echo from ancient whispers. Was this temple meant as a beacon of hope, a sanctuary for the faithful, or does it conceal an ominous riddle mapping out the impostor's throne? The symbolic elements within Ezekiel's description dovetail into a stark warning. Each wall and chamber anticipates events yet to come. The altar, immaculately detailed, becomes the stage upon which divine dramas will unfold, its presence not just suggestive of ancient rituals revived, but of coming confrontations of faith that decide futures. Some scholars speculate that Ezekiel was painting a forewarning against the counterfeit Messiah, a facet of prophecy. Patterns and symbols encode this hypothetical tale of defilement within passages aimed to endure beyond their immediate context. Its architectural minutiae offer not just blueprints of stone, but a living storyboard, a testament's tale, a map directing to a dark hour when sacrilege and reverence collide, a confrontation that tests the very fabric of belief. The use of decoding Ezekiel's vision as a foretelling of where within these as-yet constructed walls the Antichrist could claim dominion over the Earth's spiritual narrative reveals a deeper thematic tension. Herein lies a blueprint, not just of holy structure but of fallen reign, a domain where the malevolent spirit declares his false peace. Reflecting on whether Ezekiel offered us a cryptic map to the beast's spiritual regime demands reflection. Was he indeed a scribe of eschatological law, guiding speed readers towards a nightmare cloaked in the temple's promised dream? The ethereal pages of prophecy in Ezekiel embody an ancient call to discernment, a divine plea urging vigilance against spiritual impostors. Its forewarnings remain, waiting with cautionary tales to awaken present-day seekers amidst their spiritual slumbers, urging them toward the light of truth as swirling shadow looms in disguise. The temple's vision carries more than stones of ancient design. It harbors the silent wails against an impending pretender's triumph. In essence, Ezekiel's narrative is not mere architecture, but a cosmic compass pointing toward choices, faces yet unknown, deeds yet prevented. It's a recurring cycle reflected metaphorically, a testament we are called to heed once darkness seeks to overshadow sacred light in yet another battle over a rebuilding that transcends stone to find abode in spirit. That eternal castle that no false Messiah should ever claim.